What's up, everybody? I just want to start the video by saying this is not to disclaimer. This is not to say, "Oh, you're dumb," or that, you know, or to just attack anyone. It's not meant that. It's meant to have a discussion and speak on something that I have noticed and that I kind of want just to see change. I wanted to bring it up as a conversation. That's it. Just want to. Also, if you like the video, like, sub. I need to start saying this at the beginning. I feel like people don't watch to the end, so like me. You want to see more content from me, like and sub, please, because I don't want. I do like content creating, and I want to just I would very much appreciate if you could. Let's get into the video. So, what? Just you read the title. What is it that people just don't get about Genshin? What is it that people don't seem to understand? Right? I just want to start by saying I think there's two things I think people don't understand. Playing Genshin for 6 months, I've noticed that people like people have started to getting to the point where I think they don't realize what certain things mean and the way this game even works. Let me explain. First of all, the thing I've seen many people just not even understand is what DPS and DPSing is. I've seen a lot, I mean a lot, of people not even understand what it means to be a DPS or what it means to actually like what DPS really means, which is damage per second. Just because your D-Luke hits, this the hugest, 600,000, I think I've seen it before. Yeah, 600 like thousand, right? Doesn't mean he's the best DPS. Like I was watching Asian guy and I was watching Tintin as well. I watched both of them, right? And both of them, like, well, Asian guy brought up Tintin, but they both said something: damage per screenshot. And the thing is that yes, just because your character does big damage, like boom, like my Beto does 100k on a counter, cool. But if my Beto can't even sustain herself with her normals, then is she really a DPS? And that's why there's things such as burst DPS. Characters who do like big DPS, like big damage within a certain like thing. And I've seen many people just completely misunderstand. And then when they see like lower numbers or more consistent numbers, like which is what DPSing is, and you want a consistent number, right? So that the damage is, every second you get the max amount of damage. So it's going to be more consistent, right? But what I've seen the community want is instead characters who just do big off attacks and a million damage. And I've seen many people take DPS and basically turn it into damage per screenshot, which I think is just pure dumb. And I think many people I think need to really understand what DPS is. And the second thing I think that many people don't seem to understand, and this one I'm gonna go a little bit more deep in, because it's truly kind of this part kind of just is the biggest thing I never understood why no one ever realized. But from the get-go, from the beginning of this game, I've been saying characters are what you make them. Characters are what you make them. If you give Amber all the gear, 200 crit. If you give Amber 200 crit damage, 100% crit rate, just max stacked her, double crowned her, she's going to do damage. And also, what I want to say is, people have, I think, a very linear content creators specifically, and people who watch those content creators. I remember when Jao was coming up, or I remember when Ganyu was coming up. I was talking about building like a physical Ganyu, right? And many people were like, why build physical Ganyu? Why do this? Why build? Why? Their build is just the other build is completely better. Why even do it? Oh, it's not gonna be good. It's gonna be trash. And then I think what people don't seem to understand is if you build into it, if you try, if you actually have the stats, and when people don't, and people love to rant and rave about, no, not this. People love to rant and rave about crit damage, crit rate. If you give, right, if you're building Ganyu, and you're already building her normals, and you build high crit rate and high crit damage, what's to say that, why wouldn't your normals just be as good as your charge shot? I'm not saying no, like a physical Ganyu is better. What I am saying is, people think there's only one and one only build, and I don't understand why no one understands that. If you want a DPS, you need consistent damage. So therefore, you need a consistent lineup. You can't just build into one thing. And I think a lot of people seem to not even understand builds and just the way the game even works. For example, this build on Amber I have. This build on Amber is the most weird. Not building into. It's not building into her what's the name, into her charge stack. I have prototype Crescent right here that I could level up. I don't. Why? Because if I just build in her charge attack, she's not gonna be good anywhere else. And I think many people understand this at the base level but never apply it, if that makes sense. I think a lot of people understand that but don't apply it. So look, look, I got increased charge attack damage, right? For Bow and Catalyst. Physical Goblet. Need to make sure if you're gonna build a DPS, I think you want to balance it. You can't, and this is the thing I love about MMA. Like, I'm gonna bring this up as an example, but MMA. If you go into a ring, you're only a boxer, right? You're going against someone who knows boxing, kickboxing, Muay Thai, Jiu-Jitsu, wrestling, all of it, right? Who do you think is gonna have more experience and know more? Think is gonna outwin. Truly think that. Don't get me wrong. If the boxer's really good and gets a good, nice two-piece off, maybe he'll win, right? Maybe he can knock him out. That man gets him down to the ground. That's a scramble situation. You need to compensate for what. Don't get me wrong. This is luckily Genshin's a team game, but not always gonna have, you know, always rely on. You shouldn't just try. Like if you're making a DPS, you shouldn't just rely solely on your, unless you're building Yanfei. Minor build. But this is not to say that people are dumb or to say that people are like you're dumb or that you're stupid. No, I'm not saying that at all. I'm just bringing up this argument because it's like it's frustrating to see like to go to build videos and all these people make artifact guides, artifact guides. You see them everywhere. Artifact guides, artifact guides. But then when you go to their artifact guides, they're like, this is the build and this is the only build, basically. And don't get me wrong, they don't say that outright, but people imply it. And you don't see many people being diverse with their builds. And honestly, all I want is the more diversity because I feel as if you don't really see niche builds. You don't see these niche builds get attention. You see these big bombastic builds that only do that one hit, that you need Bennett and you need set this weird shit up with Melton. You see what I'm saying? Like they care. I feel like more people care about big off numbers rather than what DPSing really is, and people go based off of that big ass number rather than yes. Child, I would say child. I should have child so I can show you. I would say child, and I'm gonna show you because I have child and I have a lot of DPS as characters actually. I'm gonna show you the DPS I have though. I have Zhao, Beto, and Amber, right? But let's look at this. Let's think about child. Build child. You're mainly gonna build into Twitch. But if you have C0 child, you cannot stay in this form for a long time. Look, see, look. I've been in this form for about almost 20 minutes, 20 seconds. Oh, wow. Right? But now you have 13 seconds now, and you have to use your normals, and you never built into your normals. But also, if you use this fully, and just build fully in a Hydro, never physical, never trying to do your physical, you're going to go into the domain and be useless. You're gonna be useless on the field now for 40 seconds. Rather than someone like Beto, boom. Here's the issue why I found with Beto. If you built fully in Electro Beto, when she was on field and you didn't, like, I realized this when I was playing her really low. Like barely was doing anything. I couldn't even pass her best because I couldn't do no physical damage. I was doing no damage. And so, don't get me wrong, if you build high crit rate and crit damage, you're gonna naturally like do like high numbers like Zhao. Zhao, high crit rate, high crit damage. He naturally just has high base numbers. Plus you have to build his base attacks. So but like I would say Child is one of the worst, like not one of the worst, right? Well, compared to everyone else, yes. Because most of his DPSing comes from this. And if you want to last a prolonged battle, this is going to run out if you're C0. And then you're going to be stuck doing this, and that's not going to be good. Amber, I've built, you know, physical and charge attack, and with a 3-star weapon, I can hit 20k melts. I mean, it's refined 5 weapons too, so. But it's a 3-star weapon, 20k. So, she has the elemental damage and the physical. I'm basically just saying, hey, Dunderhead, you do not have to just build into Chow plunge spam. You don't have to just build into Ganyu charge attack. You don't have to just build into Amber aim shot. You don't have to just build into Beto tide caller. You don't have to just do that. And I want to challenge people to be more creative, because I think being more creative and going to a domain and seeing a physical Ganyu would be awesome. Going into something and seeing fucking physical Zhao with prototype Crescent doing weird, crazy shit, like, that'd be awesome. I'm just saying. I would love to see more diversity among builds and more diversity among us as a community. I feel as if I want to reinforce that, hey, this game is what you make of it. Just because Ganyu charge attack is the best build doesn't mean you can't make her a hybrid or make her only physical or make her only that. If you like it, do it, man. Fuck it, let's roll. That's all I'm saying. And I think the biggest thing that Genshin, like Genshin players and people don't understand about Genshin is simply, this game is what you make of it. It's what you do. It's what you choose to do. People don't understand that, I think, fully, because they just follow these creators blind and they want to do damage. They don't know what DPSing is, so they don't know the build. You know, like that. They don't know the build in their normals. They don't know to fully, you know, invest in the characters. People want the big number. And don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with wanting a big number. Sometimes people just want to see big numbers go boom, 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 and whoop. Hey, man, we out here to have fun. It's just a game. But like, if you're gonna don't go around, you know, I guess sort of making it seem, or like pushing out the narrative is one build and one build only. Who cares? Who cares about physical Ganyu? Who cares about? Don't be that guy. That's all I'm saying. And just remember, and just try to just be more knowledgeable. Like, not everything's about the big one-off number, right? If you see a character who's doing 5k on each normal attack, 5k, or 2k, 2k, like consistently, like, that's awesome as well. That's just as good as doing these big bombastic numbers, because now he has stabilized his build. He's made his build more consistent. You should congratulate those kind of builds as well. Not these we shouldn't just glorify big ass numbers, because that's how power creep happens, I think. That's my opinion. That's how I feel. I wanted to make this video because I think it's just an interesting idea, and I've always just advocated for building how you want, rather than building, you know, to be more consistent as a DPS rather than big one-off numbers, right? But yeah, that's pretty much how I feel. Everything I mentioned in this video was just basically to say, let's be more diverse, bro. Hey, look at that. Look at that. That's cool. I'm just saying. Yeah, like, comment, subscribe. Yeah, have a wonderful day. you enjoyed the video, peace.